It's Friday night, and what the fuck are you doing? I'll tell you what you're doing. You're sitting home dreaming about sweaty, built men in underwear. And who better to do it with than the Iconoclastic Wrestling Podcast? And here's your host, Iconoclast and Dick Taco.
Welcome to the newest episode of the Iconoclastic Wrestling Podcast. I am the Icon Smasher himself, Iconoclast.
And I am your host, Dick Taco. This is going to be the last show we do for the holiday season until the end of the month when you get the drum roll, please. No, stop. I have a real drum roll sound effect.
The IWP Awards.
The end of the year awards. And when we started up this little shindig here, I didn't realize IWP backwards is PWI.
No, this show might have to end soon because I'm thinking of starting my own podcast about politics and philosophy.
You could do them both. Nobody will listen to that one as much as nobody listens to this one. You can have twice as many people not listening to you.
No, but see, I can advertise the other show on my college campus because people will listen to me rant about that stuff. No one gives a shit about pro wrestling.
Sure they do. But no, you can't. You really didn't want them knowing who you were anyway. But anyway, yeah, we're going to do the IWP End of the Year Awards will be up on the 27th, birthday of the taco here.
How old are you, 75?
I'll be 46, you fucking asshole.
Got with those glasses you got on right now. You look like you're in your 50s.
Well, I can't see far away. I'm old.
Yeah, and you've been saying that, I'm not bald. I've been shaving my head for 20 years.
I never said I wasn't bald. I said, yes, I'm bald, but I've been shaving my head for a little over 10.
Oh, please. You've been bald for as long as I can remember.
Yeah. So? Doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get to the news.
Look at my long hair.
Let's get to the news before I punch you right in the mouth.
Look at my luscious long hair.
Yeah. That thing's living in it. Get to the fucking news. Start where you want to do.
Okay, WWE. MVP reports that Vince wanted to turn Hurt Business into the new nation of domination.
And I called that, what a racist old fuck. How did I know that? How did I know that?
Keep it up. I'm a Nick.
Well, because an MVP...
Because he's a racist old fuck.
Well, because I remember like MVP's response was that he didn't want that because they didn't want to be like the Nation where their whole gimmick was that they were like Black Power and stuff.
Dude, I lived through that fucking gimmick. That's what I was talking about the other week with Skull and 8-Ball and Chains and Crutch and the Disciples of Apocalypse.
Yeah, because they had the gang war, right? There was the Disciples of Apocalypse, the Nation of Domination, and there was a Puerto Rican faction, right?
Oh my God, what the hell is her name? Don't fucking tell me. Savio Vega, Los Boricuas.
Yeah.
Savio Vega, Miguel Perez Jr., who had the hairiest shoulders you ever saw. It looked like each shoulder was wearing a hairpiece.
I gotta look this up. What's his name? Miguel
Perez. But there was a Miguel Perez Sr. who wrestled in the 50s when Pop was a kid. Oh, this is Inoki here. And in the background, we're watching, I dug through my old collection.
Oh, jeez, well, he's just hairy in general.
Isn't he fucking like a gorilla?
Gorilla, I don't know about this, Monsoon.
No, but we're watching the first ever New Japan Pro Wrestling show.
Because as always, we have to have something on in the background.
March 6, 1972.
Who is that, Inoki against?
Oh, that's Inoki and Carl Gotch. Veteran of the Gotch pile driver, concentration camp survivor, great shooter, Carl
Really?
Gotch.
He was in a concentration camp? I didn't know that.
Yeah, in Antwerp or something. And he was also former WWF, one of the original WWF tag team
Well, if
champions.
it was in Antwerp, it was probably a prison camp, not a concentration camp.
Or he got shipped from there. He's from Belgium or something. But he used to do the Hindu squats, and he's a veteran of the Gotch style pile driver that Claudio does and all that. So quite a shooter. I don't have a lot of stuff of him. This might be the only thing I have of him. Of Carl.
Okay, well,
getting back to the WWE dudes.
Yeah, like MVP said, they just wanted to be black guys who happen to be wrestlers. You know, like they didn't want to have them being black.
Black being like
be like their whole thing.
Yeah, fuck all.
Like that's like it's the same thing with like the New Day. You know, the New Day are just black guys who happen to have like they're wrestlers who happen to be black.
Yeah, they're black dorks. Yeah, but you could
could
be white dorks too.
You know, like that stuff's actually been intriguing me. This whole New Day breakup storyline that's probably going to come to a head tomorrow, as of when we're recording this.
The only one that had any talent was the one that got hurt, Big E.
Yo, man, Big E.
I love Big E.
How to dance like Big E, right? Yeah, I remember
my Bootio's box that I had in the back room. Yeah, when I bought.
Where is that now? Where is that?
Oh, that's all right. That was your cousin's. I got him that one year he was in the WWE when he was like 5. I spent like $200 and some on fucking action figures. I had to make a big Titantron on the one TV in my bedroom. This is where I was living alone and everything.
The Bootio's, were they any good? The cereal?
I didn't eat it. The box is what the figures came in. I didn't have the fucking cereal. I wouldn't have wasted my fucking money on that shit. You used to just walk around doing the New Day, where he's blowing into Francine, the trombone.
Wait, it had a name?
Yeah. See, so much as you know, Mr. Wrestling Journalist. You didn't know the name of the New Day's fucking... That was a goddamn Wrestling Jeopardy question last time I did that on YouTube. Yeah,
well, what does the T stand for in James T. Kirk?
Tiberius. Everybody knows that.
No.
They actually said it in the movies.
What?
I'm talking about the original ones. I'm talking about the Chris Pine ones. All of them. WWE trademarking Edge fueled rumors they're trying to get Adam Copeland.
They won't get him back. Well, because they might just be trying to trademark it just to make... I'm not entirely familiar with copyright law. If they like time out after a time.
Yeah, but it's so many years. It's kind of like, you know, the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movies after that shit that wears off. Now they're doing Popeye the Slayer, man.
Yeah, you told me that.
It fucking looks good. He eats contaminated spinach and goes on a fucking rampage.
Well, you told me that we were driving back from watching Full Gear, which we'll talk about later.
Oh my God, it looks so awesome. I can't wait. It's not coming out till 2026.
Is it live action or animated?
It's live action, but he's like crazy looking. He's not CG done. He's even got the big arms and shit.
Synthol.
It'd be cool if they could use AI.
You know what that is, right? Synthol?
Synthol what?
It's like where guys inject... It's even worse than steroids. It's like guys inject oil into their muscles to like puff them up. Makes them look like Popeye. I've seen it in like Russia.
I don't want to see that ever.
It doesn't make you strong at all. It just makes your muscles like puffy.
All right. Charlotte Flair returned imminent after posting a pic of Diamond out of ice.
What does that mean?
Just a diamond coming out of a block of ice. She, I guess she's calling herself a diamond. She did some kind of real ambiguous Twitter.
Whatever. I don't care.
She's a good wrestler, dude. I don't care what you say.
I don't know. I've never seen anything from her that wowed me.
We'll get to the Survivor Series review at the end of the WWE news because we actually both watched it too.
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I watched the men's Survivor Series match and I saw a lot of the women's online. And
yeah, the women's was a fucking clusterfuck.
We'll talk about that because a lot of people did not like the women's match. They think that Triple H doesn't really care about the women's division on the main roster.
He probably doesn't. All right, but
because everyone says that the best part about NXT is the women. That Shawn Michaels does
possibly. I don't watch it enough to even make a distinction.
I don't know. I always just see crazy shit. There's always like fights in the parking lot and stuff.
Yeah, it's very like early 90s WCW looking like that the big fingers, you know, the Stallone fingers.
That weirds me out in every picture.
I know, you've brought that up many times.
Well, because it's
like a cat being scared of a cucumber.
Well, because it's like it shows up in all of their match graphics. It's that perspective where they have giant fingers. The Stallone finger from Spy Kids.
And yes, I did get that, because I know you don't watch the show, but I did get that picture.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. I did go back and watch that because I wanted to make sure.
Of course I did.
I mean,
I wouldn't shit you.
I mean, that's as good as the Rah!
I can't really find that as much as I used to be.
Brock Lesnar. No, because I was telling this to my to Mother Wayne about how great it would be if they still had him be the 5th man at Survivor Series. And the whole ring just started chanting, "We want piss vids! We want piss vids!" Awful.
There would be no sound on the show. They would have to mute the whole fucking show.
Well, it's like
I would do it. I mean, you're talking to the guy who started when. You remember what was it? That match in the Continental Classic. What was it? Dax versus Cash Wheeler that we went to?
No, that was the Owen Hart tournament.
The Owen Hart tournament, yeah. Was that in Atlantic City or Philly?
Whatever.
I can't
we
remember.
Saw that where they started doing the Northern Lights suplexes.
No, it wasn't Northern. It was just German.
Yeah, and you started chanting, Benoit, Benoit,
Chris Benoit, Chris Benoit. And your cousin started chanting with me. And the people just started looking at me. I was like, come on, do it. I want to get on TV.
No, the best chant I heard recently was they had this, we'll talk about the Continental Classic a bit later, too.
Yeah, I have that down here for a preview.
One of the first matches was Claudio versus Ricochet, which was really good.
Yeah, I remember that. That was really, really good.
But everyone was chanting, Bald forever! Bald forever!
That's funny.
Because both Claudio
Speaking
and
of Ricochet, can I just drop some constructive criticism in on him for a minute?
What?
It has nothing to do with his wrestling, but he needs to be a heel. And he needs to get a mouthpiece.
Yeah, he does.
He cannot talk.
I thought they should have had him join the Hurt Syndicate.
Or Cal's family.
I don't know.
That actually makes sense because of the beef with Ospreay.
Yeah, but there's already so many people in the Callis family. You don't want it to
end up... people that don't amount to shit.
Well, the Callis family now is Kyle Fletcher, who's a future world champion.
Kyle is, and he's only 25 years old.
Konosuke Takeshita, who's really good.
Can I just say, he's one guy... I usually piss on AEW and what they're doing and how they're booking people. But that guy, I talk about him like I talk about Braun Breaker in the WWE. I think they're stars in the making. I think he's headed for the top. But you have to be – see, the problem is it's Tony. They have to be careful with these guys, you know. Like, he could ruin Bobby Lashley and Shelton on him. Whatever. I mean, Bobby Lashley, you saw him walk in there that week. He looked like $1 million. He looked like a star, and he's so much bigger than he just knocked him on his ass, swerve.
Yeah.
But anyway, as far as Survivor Series goes, we know we were off last week because Dick Shine here had a paper to do. So
yeah, I have a term paper about deep ecology.
What's deep ecology? How deep can you go?
It's a theory of environmental ethics that believes that all life on Earth is sacred, no matter whether it's human, plant, or animal, and therefore all life should be treated equally. You should treat a tree the same way you treat your mother.
I don't know about that. That's some heavy shit, dude. That's deep.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm writing a fucking 16-page paper about it.
Oh, that's nothing. I did a 45-page paper sophomore year of college on Oedipus Rex in English class about how Oedipus didn't suffer enough for banging his mother. And I bullshitted it, and I got a B+.
Whatever. We'll talk about it. This is for my other podcast.
But anyway, to set up the Survivor Series, we saw Bronson Reed became the fifth man for the new bloodline.
Again, he's Samoan. Bring him in.
Is he really?
I don't know. He looks Samoan enough. Bring him in.
Yeah, sure. He smells like a Samoan. Bring him in. Yeah.
It's like Tongaloa and Tamatonga.
CM Punk was the fifth man, which
is so
Heyman introduced him pretty good though. Like,
it was so fucking stupid.
Did you see old Haystacks Heyman walk out there last night? Jesus Christ, man.
If
it's possible, he got fatter.
He's not as old as I thought he was. He's only like 58 years old.
Yeah, he's not that old at all.
No, but
I met him in 98, so what's that, 26 years ago?
But he's been like in the business for forever.
Oh yeah, he used to be
he was a manager.
He was a fucking photographer. Him and Jim Cornette, when they were teenagers, actually were at the same shows together photographing. But Paul E. was a mainstay at Madison Square Garden in the 70s.
And then he was also
from Scarsdale, New York.
And then he was a manager when he had the big brick phone and the mullet.
Oh, that was the Dangerous Alliance. I always liked Paul A.
And then he was in ECW.
But he has a picture of himself at like 15 years old with the Grand Wizard, Lou Albano, and Classic Freddie Blassie. And
the original three.
The only three original managers. They were the only ones that Vince Sr. wanted. That's why Bobby Heenan couldn't go until Ernie Roth, the Grand Wizard, died.
Ernie Roth. The Grand Wizard.
Paul actually just brought out a pair of his glasses that...
The Grand Wizard of the Kingdom of Koopa Keep?
No, it's not that. He's the Grand Wizard of wrestling. Did you ever see him now?
No.
He had a turban on, and I used to wear like real flashy glasses. He was gay, actually, yeah. Died of a massive heart attack. The WWE content, now this is what I heard. It doesn't sound like it's happening here. This is happening internationally everywhere except America.
Yeah, because
the network's shutting down finally. The WWE network is
but like
down.
we haven't had the WWE network in America for years.
No, I haven't had it since the beginning of 21 when the deal went through.
Yeah.
I was so happy. It never worked right either. I used to watch the shit through the Xbox.
Apparently, the WWE network is better than Peacock. Or at least it was better.
It was cool. I remember. I was a day one subscriber. I was watching SummerSlam 04 on my phone at work, like at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning to see Randy Orton and Chris Benoit.
I was say that's when Benoit lost. That's when Randy Orton found the belt laying in the ring to take the vacant championship.
And Triple H had suffered a seizure at WrestleMania 20 and just screamed and tapped out with no one.
And then
made himself into a pretzel.
Yeah, and then Eddie Guerrero started coming out and celebrating with nobody, even though he's not the one who won.
And he even hugged the goddamn, like he hugged nobody.
Like he hugged the air.
Weird. I wasn't surprised that he died not long after.
And then the belt started like levitating in the air, like someone was holding it. That's so weird.
Yeah. It's either that or bad editing. I don't know. All right.
I love this gag where we just try not to pretend that Benoit exists.
Well, that's what they did. I told you. You were too young, but when I had Classics on Demand on Comcast...
They would just edit them out.
No, like you would see them. Like I remember watching They always did a Monday Night War show, it was called. You got a Raw and a Nitro from the same night, right? Yeah. You could watch it. And so the Four Horsemen are coming out. It's like after Pillman left, McMichael's in. So it's Flair, Anderson, Benoit, Steve McMichael. And like
Paul Roma.
No, that's 93. And he doesn't even count. Ric Flair even said that on an episode of Legends of Wrestling. Paul Roma, Sid Vicious, not Horseman. But they will all start talking, and they're talking shit. And you would see Benoit standing with a woman in the background. And he would go to talk, and his mouth would open up, and it would just get cut to the next segment. Which is so ridiculous.
I've never even heard him speak.
Who? Chris Benoit?
Yeah. Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit, yes. Now there's a women's IC title after the women's US.
That's not going to be good. That's not.
Are they stealing ideas from Tony Khan?
Yes,
it's awful.
Hey, Tony's got enough trouble with 2 women's belts. Now there's going to be 3, and also they before this had the women's North American belt in NXT.
The women's North American, Southwestern, Eastern Championship Wrestling,
the South American
television title,
the South American Championship that never existed. Remember?
The funny thing was though, when the new DiBiase just showed up in WWF as the North American champion, it wasn't Mid-South either. A lot of people say that it was a title that they made, the WWF.
Yeah,
because the original Intercontinental belt, it's the same fucking design. The same strap, the same plate, everything. Because back then they looked really like Roman,
and then
Centurion-like.
And then
belts.
in kayfabe, he got in kayfabe, he had won a tournament then to unify it with a South American belt that never existed.
Who Pat Patterson, won when he was down there in South America, scouting out people.
Hello, Frisco.
Yeah. Eric Bishop.
What did you say when we were watching Full Gear, which we'll talk about soon?
We'll get that. We'll get to the AEW list.
What was?
Don't forget, we got TNA Turning Point was last night.
Jesus Christ! How many fucking shows this time of year?
Yeah, but think about it. It's the last show we're doing until. Next week we're going to record the end of the year show, but we're not putting it up for like.
What were you saying that Tony Atlas said about Pat Patterson?
Oh my God, I did not. Thank you for telling me because we've talked about 3 shows and I didn't get a chance to do it. First of all, the Vince McMahon documentary.
It's terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad. It's a Netflix documentary. It was done well, like most of them are. Like, if you've ever watched any of the Conversations with a Killer and stuff like that, they're all very well done. But they bring in Tony Atlas, who is the most poor-spoken, stereotypical, black-talking man from the cast of Fat Albert that you ever saw.
Fun fact, he wrestled on Juggalo Championship Wrestling's Legend and Icon show.
Fun fact, he also liked women in high heels to walk on his face because he's a fucking weirdo. But anyway,
everyone in wrestling's a weirdo. Jimmy Valiant jerked off under a glass table while women shit on it.
Yeah, but I've at least heard about people that enjoy that before.
I've heard about people who enjoy getting stepped on, too.
In the face with stilettos?
Well, not to that extent, but...
Wait, you've heard this other from people that I've told you about that I've heard this crazy shit from.
I've never heard people like wearing stilettos specifically. It fucking happens in a Bruce Lee movie.
Oh, that's right. Anyway.
with David Carradine, ironically.
Oh, yeah. Talk about foreshadowing. Anyway, Tony Atlas is talking about Pat Patterson. They brought up the Ring Boys thing. He said Pat grabbed his genitals, but the way he said it, he goes, he grabbed my peckle. And the week we reviewed that, I wanted to do that joke, and then you brought it up again, and I wanted to do it. So thank you for bringing it up. He grabbed my peckle. And he goes, you tell anybody, like, who you gonna tell? Who you gonna tell? It's like you tell Vince, he goes, you ain't been around the wrestling business too long now, have you? You know what he sounds like. He's like,
I can't fucking breathe.
CM Punk told a story about him, too, where he was like, man, you tape all the way up like that. You look like you got 2 broken arms. You ain't ever going to get on TV like that, boy. You asshole.
He sounds like Ruckus.
Grab my peckle. Peckle.
What was the thing?
P-E-C-C-A. Peckle.
Was it Dickie Murdoch who told
Yeah.
Atlas that he was like, listen, there's this fun like meeting you should go to, and he gave him the address, and it was a Klan meeting.
He thought it was hysterical, too. God. We sent a guy to a gay bar in Philly one time. Some fucking asshole came to a party, this guy's house in, I think it was Collingswood or Haddonfield or something like that. We told him, like, yeah, it's a good bar. We're all going to Yellow Brick Road later. Why don't you go down there?
Yellow Brick Road.
Fucking asshole. I hope he was accosted against his will, that cocksucker. I don't remember the guy's name.
Not funny.
Eric Bischoff shows up on the 11/26 NXT and is coming next week, which I guess will be this week.
Because the whole thing about NXT now, I thought, is that they're trying to aim it at people my age, which isn't working.
Yeah, he didn't get much of a pop.
Well, yeah, because it's all young. If they're trying to aim at young people, then why do they bring legends on?
Yeah, I mean, I understand bringing the more popular people from the main roster. At least you know who they are because they're current.
It's like why the fuck?
But why would you would you bring in like Junkyard Dog if he was still alive? No, nobody your age knows. He died before you were born.
Everybody, get down.
Get down. Now I gotta find that clip from Rock and Wrestling. God, that show was awful. You were making fun of me the other Thanksgiving for watching that, but I don't remember liking it. You don't understand, Saturday morning cartoons are a big fucking deal.
Billy Jack Haynes was recorded an episode for it. Speaking of,
yeah, they never come. Then he went to World Class.
Hey, we talked about Billy Jack at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, we're wondering what's up with old Billy Jack.
Because I looked up, I tried finding his theme music, and he never had any.
No, he didn't. I told you, he would either come back from break and he would be in the ring, or he would come up with no music on.
And then there was some promo.
See, guys back then, too, when they attacked somebody, they didn't hit the music for them. They just came out like a real fight. So
yeah, but when you have the music, it gets more of a pop.
Sure.
And it's easier because when you're in a big arena, you can't always see who's down there. So the music lets everyone know who's there.
And finally, before we get to the Survivor Series review, news that'll be music to your ears. Jade Cargill out 3 months with a legitimate injury. Probably because she spiked herself. Because she sucks at
What do you mean
life.
she spiked herself?
She probably got hurt or something. Did a fucking move she wasn't familiar with.
The Samoan spike!
All right, let's get to Survivor Series.
The most dangerous move in sports entertainment.
Yeah, please. Staters when he misses and you smell his armpit.
Solo, don't look at his ass, Sokoa.
All right, now there was no matches on the pre-show.
Speaking of, they should have Sonny Siaki join the Bloodline. I'm pretty sure.
Well, why not? Yeah, he's some kind of Hawaiian, some shit, close enough, right?
Wait,
I mean, if we're putting the Tongans in there,
what is he? I haven't heard of him doing anything since like 2005.
Get Ricky Steamboat in there. I think he's part Asian.
He's Japanese.
I know, and they made him Hawaiian. He wasn't even really. No, he was always from. WWF said he was from Hawaii. He was really from he was born in New York. He was an army brat.
I guess saying that from Hawaii is there's a lot of Japanese people, and there's a very large Japanese population in Hawaii.
The most Hawaiian people became Japanese in the WWF anyway, like Yokozuna, Harry Fujiwara, otherwise known as Mr. Fuji.
He was Hawaiian?
Yeah, he wasn't Japanese. Japanese wrestlers weren't a big deal, coming over here.
Let's see. NWA, Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling, World Wrestling Entertainment. He was in the Samoan Fight Club.
Siaki, you looking at?
He wrestled his final match in 2000 because the Samoan Fight Club was him and Manu in FCW, where Sonny Siaki wanted his release, but they wouldn't grant it to him, so he just ate a bunch and got fat.
Oh, man after my own heart. But anyway, there's no matches on the pre-show, which makes me think, why do we even need a pre-show?
So they can have Big E, King Barrett talk to each other or something.
King Barrett? Bad News Barrett?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm
afraid I've got some bad news.
Hey, when I think of him, all I think of is the first pro wrestling match I ever saw, and the only one I saw for several years. Him and Stardust versus Neville, now known as Pac, and the Green Arrow himself, Stephen Amell.
Yeah, Stephen Amell took liberties with Stardust, too. He kicked him right in the stomach as hard as he could.
Where Stardust thought that Stephen Amell was actually Green Arrow.
Yeah, hey, Stardust was on the show, too. He was Stardust. No. He was manufacturing a drug called Stardust.
Yeah.
But I forget his name.
Rhodes was a drug dealer.
Did you ever? Yeah, he was a drug dealer. And
selling a drug called Stardust, and he had, it's like he couldn't feel pain, so Oliver had to cut his tendons.
Yeah, and then
he was in the prison episode.
Yeah, but he got sent to Iron Heights prison, and then when Oliver went away, he used to get real close to him and go, "See you later, Arrow."
And then he was in there with Bronze Tiger and all the other side villains.
Bronze Tiger helped him, though. Bronze Tiger helped him.
I don't know. It's been years since I watched Arrow.
Said, "Take care of my son, Connor Hawks, his son." And Diggle adopted him. But anyway, we could do an Arrow podcast. I love that show. But anyway, the women's War Game match kicks it off in 38 minutes and 15 seconds of blistering boredom later. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley defeat Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae.
I saw a lot of complaints about this. Apparently,
I can't understand why.
Apparently, the faces had the advantage, which was so stupid.
The faces should never have the advantage. The bad guys should always have the advantage.
Yeah, because
the whole point.
Why wouldn't you root for the underdog?
I told you that Great American Bash '87 tour when they started it. The Horsemen won every coin toss and every match. Arn Anderson and Dusty Rhodes started. Who cares?
It's the thing. Well, also with that, without the internet, to everyone, it was like the first time they would see it if it was on tour. But here, and also apparently, people think that the Rhea Ripley's getting booked way too strong.
Yeah, I dug her mask. She was wearing that mask for her
She
orbit.
Keeps beating everybody. She beat Liv Morgan again, who's supposed to be the world champion. People are saying that they just have no stars now.
Yeah, this was almost like a 40-minute squash, which is way too long.
They have to have Tiffany Stratton in there, who I don't like.
Yeah, you really don't like her, but she's meh. And then she's gonna cash in the middle of the match.
But they keep making it like she's always gonna cash in, and then she never does.
But how do you cash in the middle of a match when you're on the team with the other person? It makes no sense.
Well,
you're on a team with both of the people.
Well, last year they tried Damian Priest tried to cash in at War Games. You remember?
Was he in the match?
Yeah, he was in the match, and they had Rhea Ripley run out with the briefcase.
No, I don't remember that.
And then Randy Orton came in and beat everyone up before he could cash in. He tried to cash in on Seth.
I fell asleep because I woke up to your fuck CM Punk text when you came back.
Because he tried to cash in on Seth frickin' Rollins.
I think, it sounds vaguely familiar.
It's Seth frickin' Rollins! Seth frickin' Rollins!
Seth Franklin Rollins. But yeah, this was a 40-minute squash match, and it was excruciating. The toilet seats and stuff like that.
Wait, they had toilet seats?
Well, Nia Jax and that supple bottom of hers tried to run into Stinkface like Rikishi, so she put some toilet seat around somebody's neck, and then they were hitting each other with toilet seats.
Hey, they should have had Rikishi as in this War Games match for the men. He should have showed up, done a dive off the top of the cage.
Oh, please. Those guys got hurt that did that last night, right? Jimmy Uso and Bronson Reed are hurt. Jimmy broke his toe is the only thing I heard so far.
Jimmy!
But depending on what toe, it could be the problem.
Yeet! Yeet!
Oh, please. He got to come out last, too. He's the big fucking star.
Yeah, well, because he was the guy who started.
Oh. I'm going to say. Because I have in my notes here, do you see where I wrote, has main event Jey Uso ever actually been in a main event?
Maybe of Raw.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's not a nickname you just give yourself. Terrell Owens didn't have a license plate that said 20 grabs on it because he wanted to catch 20 balls in a game. No, he did it. It was the
main event. It's just me, Oos.
Fuck, dude. I'm sick of him already. But we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah,
surprising.
I'm sure Rikishi will complain about it on his podcast.
Sure he will. Complains about everything else. I don't know if he can keep up with how many kids he has. In a surprising
He's
booking,
too virile.
Yeah. In a surprising booking decision, Shinsuke Nakamura
Won the
defeated
U.S.
LA
belt.
Knight, yeah, in 9 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah!
Was over before I could even get comfortable.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
All right, stop it.
Dummy! Yeah!
Braun Breaker defended successfully the Intercontinental title against Sheamus, who I think Sheamus should go away. He's a relic of the corny Vince era with the
League of Nations.
the pale Irish guy with the red hair, and Ludwig Kaiser, all 140,
Commandant Ludwig Kaiser.
all 140 pounds of him. I like him.
The
But 14 minutes and 25 seconds, Braun Breaker shit all over these guys. I mean, he made them all look bad. He's fast. He's big. They were doing the barking for the dog-faced gremlin for him for his father.
He needs to start cutting.
Got comes from good stock, man.
They got to bring in his uncle to cut promos.
I'd bring him back for a night.
I brought him up to my bungalow, and she pissed on it till she called me the big bad booty daddy. That's a promo he cut in World Wrestling All-Stars.
Gunther defeated Damian Priest by technical submission.
People thought this match wasn't good because Finn Balor interfered
he
again.
double stomped him. Little shit. Should have his neck squeezed.
Fergal?
Yeah, Fergal Devitt. And in the men's War Games match, Roman Reigns,
The
the
Samoan
Usos,
Gangster Party match.
Sami Zayn, and CM Punk defeated Solo. Don't look at his ass, Takoa. Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga,
And the worst
Tonga
wrestler
Loa,
of all time,
Tonga Loa, and Bronson Reed in 41 minutes and 55 seconds.
First, the Tongans suck. Tonga Loa didn't do anything.
And why? You never answered my text tonight. Why do they dress like the Big Boss Man from 1998?
Mrs. White, Miss White, now that you're a husband, maybe you got to go out with a real man like me.
My daddy, way.
What's the poem he read?
All I remember is from the bottom of my heart and tears that are soaked. I'm sorry to hear that your dad just croaked.
And then there's, make sure you don't get any paws stuck in your teeth. You don't like the white pepper looks? You don't like the white pepper tastes? Yeah, he
was a comedy genius.
He had the funniest fucking feuds. Big Show's riding the coffin.
But let's get back.
Did you find the thing? Well, no, I'll ask you when we do Full Gear about that.
But let's get back to why the Tongans dressed like the Big Boss Man and Bull Buchanan.
Bull Buchanan
was his sidekick, who then became B Squared, John Cena's first sidekick. Nobody remembers that shit.
B Squared.
They brought him out years ago, like on a "This Is Your Life" John Cena thing. It was awful.
B Squared.
Roman Reigns and the Usos, Sami Zayn and Punk defeated the New Bloodline, who really sucks ass. I mean, you have the Boss Man.
They try to have Tama Tonga look like he's crazy, and he just crawls around chattering his teeth.
And Tonga Loa just looks like he can't wrestle. I mean,
he can't.
I know.
I told you.
Where's Hikuleo?
Where is he?
He's 7 feet tall, for Christ's sake.
Where's Zilla Fatu? Where's Lance Anoa'i? Where's Journey Fatu?
And you got Naomi, who's Trinity Fatu. Of course, that's by marriage.
Yeah, she's married to Jimmy.
I can't stand her either. She's like dealing with your cousin upstairs. Everything has to do with her ass. Like when he has to twerk in my face and stuff because he's a weirdo. All these boys can twerk. It's like skipped your generation and they started doing it. It's awful. And he's good at it. But anyway, the match was, they locked the door and they let Roman go over the top.
Yeah.
But that's why I never agree with these War Games matches where they don't have the roof on. The original ones had a roof.
AEW, when they do Blood and Guts, they have the roof on the cage.
Yeah, and MLW does too when they do whatever the hell they call it, when they do it at the ECW arena. It's the same thing, right? But no, and the cage wasn't as high because guys would be charging at people like when they did it in Crockett. And say Hawk was getting charged in the Road Wars, he would jump up, grab the top of the cage, and then kick you.
Warrior Hawk.
But anyway, yeah, I mean it was okay. It seemed like it was short the whole pay-per-view, so
it was not very good.
All right, let's.
And they got to keep the Bloodline thing going, though. They got to keep it going.
All right, take it away with the AEW.
All right, we'll start with the Full Gear, and then we'll talk about the beginning of the Continental Classic, which has only had a handful of matches so far. All right, now we both watched this together for once, so we had some extra fun.
It was very loud because we watched it with the grandparents.
It was hilarious. It was Anna Jay defeated Deonna Purrazzo. We did not see this. We didn't see...
Oh, actually, I'm going to mirror you with this because I have the Meltzer star ratings because we skipped a week.
Yeah.
So give me a second to bring them up, and then we'll talk about that too.
Dave Meltzer. Mina Shirakawa has amazing live show charisma.
Anna Jay versus Deonna Purrazzo, right? Was this on the pre-show?
Yeah.
1.25 stars from Uncle Dave.
Okay. Buddy Matthews defeated Dante Martin, Commander, and the Beast Mortos.
I imagine that match would have been, because we didn't watch the pre-show.
No.
I imagine that match would have been hell. 3 3/4 stars.
Now, this match, a lot of people praised. Big Boom AJ with Big Justice and the Rizzler as the special timekeeper defeated QT Marshall.
2.5 stars was apparently the pop of the night. I wasn't interested in the whole Costco guys angle.
I don't know who they are, so.
They take videos of going to Costco.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right,
Then we
now
had
on to the main show. Yeah.
Private Party defeated the youngest men alive, the Outrunners, Kings of the Black Throne, and the Acclaimed for the World Tag Team Championships.
2.5 by Wrestling Observer. We both agreed that match was not that great.
It was okay. It was all right.
Roderick Strong versus MJF.
This match was not good.
No, it got 3.
It was all right.
It must not have been good because I watched it back today and it did nothing for me.
It could have been way better.
I don't know. Roderick getting in there. They're really nursing this whole thing with Adam Cole along.
And they keep
when they should just let it die.
And they're keeping it going now with Kyle O'Reilly because they did this thing on Dynamite where MJF's going to be in the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal again for the 4th year in a row. They're doing this again at Winter is Coming. And so Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are both in the Battle Royal to try to fight. It's weird.
Yeah, it sounds it.
What did you say, homeless Kyle O'Reilly?
Well, he cut his hair and he's wearing shoes. So I don't call him anymore. Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné.
A lot of people said this is Mercedes' best match. I can't speak to it because I was in the bathroom during this taking a dump.
Yeah. And whatever you were doing in that bathroom was more interesting than what I saw. Uncle Dave gives it 4.5. I saw her, Statlander look good because she looks like legitimately she could take somebody. She's a thicker girl or whatever. And Mercedes, like in real life, she would crush Mercedes. But
CEO.
Oh, God. You know how it disturbs me when you do the dance.
CEO. And then
seeing a man of your size do a stripper
and then
dance
she says the same 2 fucking lines every single time. And Mother Wayne thinks I do a great impression. Like, Chicago, say hello to your CEO.
And then you hear crickets.
Or boo.
She gets no reaction. You could hear a mouse pissing on cotton.
No,
so quiet.
I mean, it was way worse when she first showed up in AEW and they tried having her be a face. That was fucking terrible. Where she made like a video package where she was comparing herself to Rosa Parks and Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
She's naturally a heel because she comes off like a twat. But anyway, that match was like, I just watched her seemingly botch move after move after move. It was almost like the one match where you were waiting for a wig to get pulled off and it consumed the match. Yeah, she might as well have been Tongaloa. But yeah, Uncle Dave gives it 4.5. Jay White, Adam Page, 4.25.
Very good match.
I thought it was very good.
They have a good feud. And now they're being elevated to the main event scene.
White won, right?
Yes, again.
He's up 2-0. That's what I thought.
Yeah, but then Hangman and him got involved in the main event, which we'll talk about down there.
Yeah, I did watch the main event live when I got home. Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay was
best match of the night.
5.25, which anything with Ospreay in it is going to be good.
Daniel Garcia defeated Jack Perry by submission for his first ever title.
Watch that today. Why do they have to do all this bull crap with Garcia's mom? They already had Trent Beretta's mom there. Why does everybody's mom have to get involved?
Well, it was like an inspirational vignette, like his mom was talking him up.
And let me get back before we move on.
Also, did you see this thing that they did before this on the Dynamite where Daniel Garcia stole the scapegoat bus and chained Jack Perry to the grill and drove him around?
Yes, I looked it up after you told me about it.
Great,
that was
right?
hysterical.
It was like the boss man stealing the coffin.
The Fletcher Osprey thing, getting back to that before we move on, though. Why is Callis is a manager? Why doesn't he manage in the corner? Every time he has somebody there, he goes over on commentary. I could see managers when I was a kid, they would go on commentary if they were wrestling a job guy because they go to talk shit and belittle the guy, but not on a pay-per-view. Just make him part of. There's already 3 fucking guys over there already. You need 4 people talking. Takeshita versus Ricochet 4 and a quarter. That match was
I didn't
very
see
good.
that.
I watched that again.
I didn't see this.
I did not
After this, I did not see any more of these matches.
I did not see Strickland and Bobby Lashley, which got 3 3/4.
I heard it was like a high tier, basically a squash match to make Lashley look good. He destroyed Swerve.
Well, it should.
Yeah.
Like Swerve shouldn't go over. It absolutely not.
MVP's calling him, he's a walking Armageddon.
And Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley got 4.
And then at the end,
what happened in that goddamn match?
So at the end, Christian Cage came out with the title contract that he still has from All In 4 months ago.
Oh, okay.
And now him and Adam Page is helping him because they have a deal. They had a deal where Christian Cage agreed that if Hangman helped him, he'd give him the first shot at his belt. So then Hangman's out there, so now Jay White gets involved.
Yes, because they're beefing.
And then he ran out. So the Death Riders came in the confusion, fought everyone, got Moxley out. And then as they're driving away, you see a car ram into the Death Riders' car as they drive away, and it's Darby.
Yeah, and you know that was not a stuntman. That was Darby.
Yeah.
And he legitimately got hurt. Got blood on his face. I don't know if he didn't have his belt on or something. But and now thinking back on it, the guy's standing up on the hood trying to smash the window with his skateboard, and he's unsteady on his feet. He's probably got a fucking concussion. Like, there's no reason to take that kind of a chance with your talent. That's all I'm saying. But I still don't know why Moxley's doing any of this shit.
It's because he doesn't like what AEW has become. He believes it's become
la-di-da, get behind me.
He thinks it's become too soft. That there's not enough real wrestlers.
Well, I told you, getting Bobby Lashley, I thought was a good thing because they brought him in there good and everything.
No, I like the Death Riders.
AEW is going to run smaller venues, or said they couldn't run smaller venues due to the set size.
No, well, now they're doing it. They
should. They're costing themselves money.
They had to change their set size.
Well, they should. Look at WWE set. It's just a little doorway. After years of using the Titantron, I mean.
Whatever. They have such an engineered media machine. They can have literal piles of shit and people will cheer for it.
I know. Like, that's what I was saying. I think I have that here. Hold on. Yeah, WWE is selling out over nothing special in the ring.
Well, it's because
it's all about talking you into it. AEW has awesome matches in front of nobody. So that's all fucking backwards.
Well, that's always been how wrestling was. The best stuff was always in warehouses in front of 100 people.
Well, sure. But AEW needs to do something. And part of it is, we were talking about Mercedes, how much she sucks. She is in charge of her own story. Moxley is too. But Moxley should be. He has at least enough of a pedigree. He's a veteran.
And he's one of the oldest, he's one of the most trusted people on the roster, apparently. Tony trusts him with a lot.
But she's controlling her own booking, and
I don't like that at all.
No, but Camille turned on her already.
Yeah, and
that's what, 2 months terrible. In we're talking about?
That should have been at least 6 months more.
Maybe longer.
Because now Camille hasn't
Because really, what else are you going to do with her?
We had... Again, we got Mercedes Hogan over here with her creative control clause. That doesn't
crazy,
work
brother.
What?
It's crazy, brother.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
And what's up with this Tony Storm retiring? Is this kayfabe?
Of course it fucking is!
I'm making sure. I didn't see it. I would have been able to tell if I saw it, but I just read about it.
It's like when she said that she had a 3-month love affair with Stan Hansen.
Oh, come on. I knew that. It was the age gap. I knew that was bullshit. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was great.
Bobby Lashley said him going.
My back was covered with what I later learned to be chewing tobacco.
Well, he did. He used to spit it right in the guys' faces. Bobby Lashley said him going to AEW was brought on by Tony saying he could still do other things like box or bare knuckle or do MMA. See, Bobby's a real fucking tough guy, dude.
He was in Bellator.
And he debuted on the 11/20 Dynamite. He won a handicap match against Joe Keys, and I was like, cheeseburger! He lives! I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah, he was in Ring of Honor. We saw him on a pre-show at one of the Philadelphia shows.
Tony has him in a glass case in his office. This cheeseburger, I need you in there tonight.
He was in an NJPW Battle Rumble match like 10 years ago.
Tony Khan talks about another home for Rampage post-2024. The man is stupid. The show is awful. It doesn't draw.
I haven't
Why are
watched
you
it
going
in
to
years.
Why are you going to waste money producing it? The only one that ever drew anything was the Punk coming. The first one it was like it drew like a
Because
over
they had
a million.
Punk coming and they had a world title match.
Yeah, it was like they got over 1 million people.
They had Christian versus Kenny Omega for the Impact World title, and before their match for the AEW World title.
They have no plans for Danhausen going forward. Did they have any plans for Danhausen at all? He didn't do anything except curse somebody once. I think he was in Hookhausen, right?
That was good. That was good.
But didn't somebody get hurt?
Because Hookhausen was funny because you had Danhausen and then you had Hook, who's super serious.
It was a good tag team.
Like Head Cheese.
Oh, that was great. Steve Blackman and Al Snow. Oh, my God. Steve Blackman was a legit bad dude.
Yeah, and then they had Al Snow, who's, hilarious.
Claudio Castagnoli announced as John Moxley's emissary to face Shota Umino at Wrestle Dynasty.
Which will also they have some other matches announced.
Bring it up and see what they got on there so far. Just preview it for me real quick, because they're talking about this on AEW about Claudio and the Young Bucks going over, but I don't know who's what.
Wrestle Dynasty will have NJPW, World Wonder Woman Stardom, AEW, Ring of Honor, and CMLL.
Ring of Honor shouldn't even be on the fucking marquee. Are you crazy? Nobody gives a fuck about that shit product is.
The IWGP Tag Team Champions, Great Okada and Hinare versus the Young Bucks. Because the Bucks apparently have never held, or they want to hold the IWGP titles one last time before they retire.
Yeah, but were they ever the IWGP World Tag Team Champions? I thought they were just a junior heavyweight tag team.
I'll check right now.
No, you're probably right. They've won tag team titles all over the place. Tag team titles that you never heard of and don't care about.
House of Glory.
Oh my God. House of Glory.
IWGP Tag Team Champions one time. They were the junior heavyweight champions 7 times.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's a lot.
We have Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ricochet. Not in a non-title match.
Oh God, who's booking this shit, Tony?
Shingo Takagi versus Konosuke or Konosuke Takeshita versus Tomohiro Ishii for the never open weight title. Takagi's the current champion. He'll be facing Takeshita before that. You got to have Ishii again, who's currently in the Jericho Vortex, so we got to pull him out.
Got swallowed up by Jericho's asshole.
Yeah.
That's all they got for it so far?
No, there's more. Put my phone away. Yota Tsuji versus Jack Perry. And then a TBD 4-way match where between the International Women's Cup 4-way match, winner receives a Women's Championship match from the promotion of their choosing of the 4 participating promotions. So they kind of have a mini tournament going on.
God, everything has a tournament.
So like in AEW, they're doing this mini tournament with Jamie Hayter, Queen Aminata, Serena Deeb, and Willow Nightingale. Stardom, they don't have anyone announced. And in Ring of Honor and CMLL, they're choosing someone too.
Oh, okay.
ROH, is it going to be Athena, Billy Starks, Layla Hirsch, or Red Velvet? And CML, Persephone, Reina Isis, Sanely, and Zeuxis.
Those Ring of Honor talent, I wish I could work up a fart right now into the microphone so I could tell you how little I care about them. Is that it for the show so far?
Oh, and Kenny Omega versus Gabriel Kidd in this comeback match. And Shota Umino versus Claudio. That's it.
That sounds like it'll be an interesting show. Wrestle Kingdom's always good, too.
This is after Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, it's the day after, isn't it?
Yeah, so now currently...
So nobody's wrestling on... What, are you going to look at Wrestle Kingdom? You might as well.
No, now I'm looking at Continental Classic, and then we'll be done.
Look at the Continental Classic.
So the Continental Classic is still going on right now. We're in the middle of it. It just started, actually. We're only a few matches in. So I told you about this. This roster is insane for the tournament. In the Blue League, Shelton Benjamin, Kyle Fletcher, Daniel Garcia, Kazuchika Okada, Mark Briscoe, and the Beast Mortos. Who's...
Rigor Mortos.
You got to have someone take the pin.
Sure.
Hey, Jay Lethal was in the tournament. He had 0 points last year. No draws, no wins.
No trips, no runs, no errors.
And then the Gold League, Claudio Castagnoli, Brody King, Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, Juice Robinson, and Ricochet!
Bing, bing, bing!
And they've changed the format a bit. The semifinals and the finals will both be at World's End. And so the person who wrestles... So if you win in the finals and you go to the finals, you have to wrestle twice in one night.
That's nothing.
And then...
I used to see guys wrestle 4 times in one night.
And then they have... Yeah, like the WrestleMania 4 tournament. The Game of Death tournament, which is fucking terrible, by the way.
What Game of Death tournament?
The Deadly Game tournament.
Oh, that's awful. That is terrible.
Where all the matches are like 1 minute.
The theme song is awful. It's just a deadly game. It's terrible. That's when they turned The Rock heel. He beat the Boss Man in like 1 second. He walked up to him and small packaged him.
It's like before we continue.
It's like 5 seconds, literally. He broke it's the shortest match ever.
WWE Deadly Game.
We got a little bit more after this go, but it won't take long. So
we do.
Yeah, we got. I added. Did you not pay attention to the format this week? There's a new section.
What is it?
History. It's going to make you laugh though. Not like ancient history, but.
Goldust versus Ken Shamrock, 5 minutes and 56 seconds. Big Boss Man was pinned by The Rock in 3 seconds.
3 seconds, yeah. Like it had to be more than 3 seconds because he had to like wrap him up first.
Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated the Big Boss Man. Wait, what?
What?
Big Boss Man's in here twice.
Somebody got hurt or something.
Yeah,
but
you have to remember
this. You have to remember this though. You have to set this up for the people that don't know it. Mick Foley was like the corporation's hand-picked guy at this moment, or you were led to believe that.
Because Triple H said was supposed to face The Rock in the first round.
Yeah.
Then Steven and X
a real man's man
had a double count out. Jeff Jarrett lost to Al Snow in 3 minutes. Mankind defeated Dwayne Gill in 30 seconds. And then,
because they were handpicking his opponent, so he could. They thought they were going to.
I saw Dwayne Gill on a list of best jobbers of all time.
Told you, man. The world famous Sacred Heart High School show. Yeah. I saw him and King Kong Bundy and the Pitbulls.
And the BWO.
Yes, they were there.
Isn't that the show where you met Rob Feinstein?
No, that was ECW.
Yeah, but
that might have been the same year though.
And then we had a 10-minute. Yeah, God, this is terrible. It's such a deadly game. But anyway, this tournament, and the way it works is that like the semifinals aren't going to be like the first and second of gold versus first and second place of the Blue League. It's going to be crisscrossed. So the people in the semifinals will not have fought each other beforehand. Because in the way the tournament works is the way the rules are, you fight everyone in your league, and then you have 1 point for a draw, 3 points for a win. So the current
it's Japanese style scoring.
Yeah.
Like world's greatest tag determination league.
Yeah.
Let's play extra game. Whatever.
Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin.
Winner is you.
Okay, so the current score.
Christ, there's more to this tournament. Go ahead.
Benjamin defeated Briscoe. Shelton Benjamin beat Mark Briscoe in a match in 11 minutes and 44 seconds, so he has 3 points. So now Briscoe has 0. Daniel Garcia and Kazuchika Okada tied.
Wow.
What?
Oh, Cody. He's getting booked at the bottom of the barrel there.
Brody King defeated Darby Allin in 9 minutes and 35 seconds.
Watch Brody King in this tournament. I think he's going to do well.
Ricochet and Claudio had a match. Castagnoli beat him in 13 minutes and 1 second.
So they're going to do the same thing to Ricochet that WWE was doing, where they're just going to constantly hold him down and shit on his chest.
Who shit on his chest?
They just beat him all the time. Prepare to be shit chested.
And then Ospreay defeated Juice Robinson in 12 minutes and 34 seconds.
Wow. Ospreay tells a story in the ring. He like paints with oil.
So yeah, first place of the Blue League will face second place of Gold League, and first place of Gold League will face second place of Blue League.
The other guy in the black trunks on the screen there is the Billy Robinson I always speak of.
And then who's the guy in the blue?
That's Nick Bockwinkel.
Oh God, I was thinking about him. One of the stupidest fucking names I've ever heard.
It's his real name.
Nick
his father was a wrestler, Warren Bockwinkel.
That's up there with Tom Zank or Tom Stone. Special delivery.
Salvatore Sincere. No, that was made up. That was Tom Brady.
SD Jones.
Special delivery.
Oh no, I didn't know because I saw him on the list of best jobbers. Also up there was Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah, he was Pat Patterson's like jizz rag. There was always said that he was gay, and Pat used to,
he grabbed my pecker.
He grabbed my pecker. My pecker. Pecca. Pecker. But anyway, to round out the AEW news, Ricky Stark pulled from GCW shows by AEW.
Now apparently this is over a dispute between GCW and AEW, where one of GCW's people was on a podcast shit-talking Tony and Shad. And Tony and Shad especially was offended by that.
But he still is going to wrestle for this Glory Pro Wrestling on Christmas Eve in St. Louis while he's on hiatus. I heard that. So he can't be... But, they extended his contract for another year because he was hurt.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair. And I also don't think it's smart business for him to keep paying these guys to sit the fuck home.
Scorpio Sky.
It's just another way he wastes fucking money. He's under contract till 2025 now. And they're also finally looking for a new venue for Grand Slam in Australia because they're having trouble selling tickets.
Well,
they're looking at the Brisbane Arena with 11.
Apparently it's a very bad venue.
Yeah, and they don't draw because there's something fundamentally wrong with their marketing. We've discussed that before. There's something wrong. If WWE is selling out like that, AEW has way better matches than them. And I mean way better matches.
And storylines and wrestlers.
It's like nobody knows about it or something.
Because people don't want to see wrestling. They want to see crappy soap operas.
Nah, that's not true. So it ends in the ring. So then they ends in the ring.
So then they want to watch the Judgment Day play their PS5 in the clubhouse. And then Carlito. That's cool.
All right.
I know you don't like Carlito.
I never have. On to the miscellaneous news. There's a new NWA territory called Dog Pound Championship Wrestling in Texas. Owned by former ECW star Jazz and independent star Rodney Mack.
Rodney Mack?
Not Willie Mack, Rodney Mack. Willie Mack still wrestles too.
Willie Mack, I get him mixed up sometimes with Shane Taylor.
He comes out to like Al Green or Barry White, man. He's got some good fucking entries.
I get him mixed up with Shane Taylor.
Vince and Linda McMahon got some Vince news. Separation confirmed on November 20th. Probably due to her being in the cabinet and him being a scumbag. Kind of like when Pat Patterson came out on the Legends House. Did I ever tell you when they made a big... Did you ever hear about that show?
No.
Legends House used to be on the network. It was like Hillbilly Jim, Gino, Pat Patterson, Duggan. Piper was on there for a little bit.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah, Pat came out as gay. I knew he was gay before I knew what gay was.
Oh!
But
also
the
WCW TV champion.
I have to say this too. Linda McMahon being nominated as the Secretary of Education under Trump, she shouldn't be allowed anywhere near anything with kids being named in that Ring Boys thing. Whether she gets out of it or not, I'm sorry. Because all I got to say is I listened to a lot of
Trump's a convicted felon. He shouldn't be fucking president either. Look what happened.
know, dude. Think about it. These pedophile rings, like the Ring Boy scandal.
Okay, this is for the other podcast.
I just got to get this out. These pedophile rings, like on the Ring Boys thing, there's more of it in the world than you think.
This is for the other This is for the real... This is for the podcast where I'm not ashamed to hide my identity.
Vince also bought property in Santa Monica, California after starting up a new entertainment company. Word is he's looking to tell the story of the Monday Night Wars from his perspective.
Vince?
I was like, but
he wants to make a new show?
I don't know, but how can he accurately do that without access to the footage? He doesn't have the footage anymore.
I still think he's going to end up back in control of the company.
Wrestle Talk is my newest clickbait dirt sheet to piss on. They constantly have articles up that say 9 new WWE signings with pictures of Joe Hendry and Miro, and it's not real news. You fake news.
I think I broke your guitar case.
Why are you playing with it? Leave it alone. It's not mine. It's the wife's. Leave it alone.
Oh.
NWA World Champion Tom Latimer to return to ICW December 1st. Today, actually. That's the time of this recording.
ICW.
And Matt Riddle shows up as mystery partner at TNA Turning Point last night. Which I don't think we're going to have time to go over this.
Nah, whatever. I don't get. No one cares. No one cares about JBL showing up in the main event for the third fucking time in a row.
I'll just finish it with this. I was watching, I was doing some stuff out in the garage, so I had Peacock on. I was watching the 1990 Survivor Series. Do you ever see the trifecta of Shawn Michaels, a young Shawn Michaels, getting his ass kicked? No. I mean, it's like 3 moves in a row. The match is, I got to set the scene for you. Stick with me. It's the Visionaries versus the Vipers.
Who?
Now, Rick Martel had blinded Jake the Snake with arrogance, his perfume in the thing. So Jake was like, you couldn't even see his eyeball or anything like that. So it was the Vipers, Jake the Snake, Jimmy the Murderer Snuka, and the Rockers, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, against the Visionaries, which was a play on Jake not being able to see, Captain Rick the Model Martel, the Warlord.
Who?
The Warlord from the Powers of Pain.
Whatever.
His real name was Terry Sapinski. I mean, so there's another band name for the file. And Power and Glory, Hercules and Paul Roma.
This is a terrible fucking match.
But you need to watch this. I probably won't be able to put the footage up without getting, blocked. But there's one point in the match, Michaels is crawling in between the second and the bottom rope. Roma jumps so high in the air and elbows him in the small of his back. He collapses like a bridge that just got blown up, right? Next thing you know, he tags the Warlord, who's 6'8" or 9", 320 pounds. He's got like 25-inch arms. He throws Michaels into the ropes, and Piper and Monsoon are talking. They have to notice this and stop what they're doing because Warlord hits him with a backdrop, throws him off the screen. You can't see him. And he comes down. And Roddy Piper's talking to the guy, and he threw him. He couldn't even...
Roddy Piper, one of the sexiest men of the 20th century.
Calm yourself. We're almost out of here. And then Hercules comes in, who whips him off the ropes and hits him with the clothesline. And he oversells and does a 360. Yes, Hercules.
As in the one who fought Billy
Jack Hayes, yeah. He's a little older. It's like 3 years later.
He got his back spit up on.
Back spat, yeah. But that's going to do it for 2020.
Speaking of Billy Jack, I saw Jericho on Dynamite. I skipped over his segment, but he came out wearing a cowboy hat with feathers in it.
With the blood on his mouth and everything after the match, I saw that.
Yeah, he looked like Billy Jack Hayes.
Well, that'll do it for 20.
What did you say, Boys on the Tracks?
Oh, God, yeah. I encourage anybody who likes our footage of Billy Jack Hayes, listen to his theory on the Boys on the Tracks murder.
Oh, wow. All right, signing off.
Hold on, not yet. That's going to do it for 2024. We'll be back for the end of the month. The IWP End of the Year Awards. Now you can say it.
Signing off.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, wow.
Get your hand off my penis!